Welcome to our Magenta's Clinical Mobility Lunch and Learn. Thank you all for joining us. I'd like to begin by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land on which we stand. Here in Melbourne, this is the Wurundjeri people. I would also like to pay my respects to elders past and present. I'm Alan Lim, Customer Success Specialist at Magenta's Practice Management. Today we'll be focusing on creating consult notes, taking a photo versus scanning documents, how to link and review electronic lab results, tips and tricks for voice dictation, and dictation apps on the marketplace. Following the presentation, I'll be joined by Olivia McCarthy, our National Customer Training Manager, Trisha Fitzgerald, Installation and Training Consultant, Suchandra Chakraborty, Product Manager, and Sian Barnes, Gentu Senior Technical Support Officer for Q&A. We encourage you to send in your questions throughout the Lunch and Learn by going to the Q&A button found at the bottom of your webinar screen. Type in your question and click Submit for your question to be sent to our moderators. We'll do our best to answer as many as we can during the Q&A. At the close of the webinar, we invite you to spend a couple of minutes completing our survey. We are keen to tailor these sessions to what resonates most with our practices, and we do value and encourage you to leave your thoughts. We hope you enjoy our presentation today. Firstly, we will start talking about creating consult notes, how to set up the consult note subheadings, typing up consult notes through the Gentu app, and dictating directly into a consult note. When adding in a consult note, the default consult note shows your standard reasons for encounter, patient history, examination, and plan. Gentu allows the consult note to be customized per user by going to the little cog found in the top right. Tick or untick the headings required. Otherwise, click on the plus text field and enter in your own heading. Then press on the tick button to save. To rearrange, simply click on the 6 dots and then drag and drop as required. Once you have set your consult note template, this will apply for all future consult notes generated for all patients through your Gentu website and also the Gentu app. You do not need to be in front of your computer to create patient consult notes. Within the app, press on the patient's appointment, press on the teal plus button found in the lower right. A menu will appear, and then you'll press on Create Consult Note. Press to select or type in your reason for encounter. Then in the subsequent panels below, press and type your notes accordingly. If you need to change the consult note date or time, press on the calendar icon in the top left. To review your text shortcuts, press on the second button along the top. And if any clinical photos are required, press on the paperclip icon to take a live photo. Once completed, press on the teal upload button in the top right. Alternatively, rather than typing up your consult note, you can dictate your consult note and upload directly into the patient's file. From the patient appointment, press on the patient, then select the teal button and press Create Consult Note. Select your reason for encounter, and if you have a nuanced voice license, you can press on the microphone to the right, where you will then start to dictate into the relevant panels. Otherwise, if you do not have a license, you can still dictate your consult note by pressing within each subheading, and then the phone keyboard will appear. Press the microphone icon to start dictating. Once completed, select Upload to Gentu. The next topic is uploading files. What the difference is between taking and uploading a regular clinical photo versus smart scanning a document through the Gentu app. Have you ever needed to take clinical photos of patients and have had to manually send these to your admin team? to then attach into the patient's record one by one? Well, if you've got the Gentu app installed, you can easily take a live photo and upload it instantly into the patient's clinical file. Within the Gentu app, press to select the patient appointment. Then press on the teal button found in the lower right. A menu will appear, select Take Photo. This will now open up your device's camera where you can instantly take a photo and save it directly to the patient's file without the photo being saved locally on your device. Once the photo is taken, press on the Done button. Here you can rename, date, and/or categorize accordingly. Otherwise, press on Upload to save. Alternatively, if you have taken a photo previously on your device, these can also be uploaded directly to the patient's file. Click on the photo icon found to the left to access your photo library. Then select and choose the photos you would like to upload. Click on Done. And then this is where you can once again rename, date, or categorize your photos. Then upload to Gentu. A new feature was recently introduced where you can now smart scan documents using the Gentu app and saving it directly into the patient's clinical history. Within the Gentu app, select the patient appointment, press the teal button found in the lower right, then Scan Document. This will now open up your device's camera. Aim your device on the document you would like to scan. You do not need to press on the screen to focus. Simply hold your device steady, and the Smart Scan function will instantly focus and highlight the document with a blue overlay. And once it focuses, it then captures the document. If you need to retake the scan, simply hold or click on the Retake button. To add additional pages, click on the Photo button and repeat the above steps. Or hold the phone still and it will automatically scan. Once completed, click Save. Then you can rename, date, and categorize your document accordingly. And then press Upload in the top right. This brings us to managing results, how to link and review your electronic results, and how to add a note or a reminder relating to the result. You can now manage your results via the Gentu app. Press the Results button found along the bottom. As a default, this will display a list of all new results. Most results will automatically be linked to the relevant patient based on their name, date of birth, and/or Medicare card number. However, in instances where the patient may not be linked, they will be flagged within the New tab as unlinked. Press on the result. The diagnostic report will show, then you'll press the search button to enter in the patient's detail. Once you select the patient, that then links it to the patient file. However, if the patient isn't found, you have the option to create a new patient record based on the information provided from the labs. All results that come through into Gentu needs to be reviewed or actioned by someone, even if the result is automatically linked to the patient's record. Within the New tab, you will see a list of all results. Press on the result to select. Within the diagnostic report, press on the teal Review button found in the bottom left. This will now remove the result from the new list and remove the flag that the result is pending review. Just on a side note, any results that are not reviewed in the patient's clinical history, it will be flagged as awaiting review. There may be times where upon reviewing a result, you may need to prompt your admin team to book an appointment or follow up with the patient. To do this, a task or a to-do can be sent. Within the diagnostic report screen, you will then press on the teal plus button and then select Add Task. Enter in the title, for example, Contact Patient to book follow-up appointment. mark as urgent if required, and enter in any additional notes as necessary. The patient details will automatically be selected based on the electronic result. You will then select who you want to assign it to, and then set the due date accordingly. Once completed, press on the teal Send button found in the top right corner. Please note, tasks can also be created directly from the patient's appointment or from the patient's record as well by clicking on the teal plus button. Alternatively, a note can be recorded against the result. Within the diagnostic report screen, press on the teal plus button and then select Add Note. Select the keyboard button found in the bottom right, type in or dictate the note into the Add Note box. Then press on Save. You will now see your note displayed on the top of your patient's results. Please be advised that this is not a consult note. This is just an additional note that is recorded and flagged against the selected result. This will also be visible in the Clinical tab when you're viewing Gentu via your regular computer. We will now look at voice dictation tips, dictation commands that doctors may not be aware of, and two features that often get overlooked, add to vocabulary and auto text. So what is auto text and how to set it up? Gentu's voice dictation has some unique commands that you can utilize as part of your dictation to streamline your workflow. Here are a list of commands that doctors can use. Insert patient name will instantly bring across the patient's full name from Gentu into the dictation. Otherwise, if you just want part of the name, you can dictate insert patient first name or insert patient last name. Other information that can be dictated directly from the information within Gentu include insert patient date of birth and insert patient age. Besides your regular punctuation commands, a few that you may not be aware of include delete that or undo that, and new line or new paragraph. Another command that may be useful is go to end. This allows you to move the cursor to the end of the dictation if you've made any adjustments in the body of the dictation. Once you have finished, at the end of the dictation, you can simply dictate upload to Gentu, and this will instantaneously upload the letter into Gentu. The voice dictation has a comprehensive medical vocabulary. However, there may be times whilst you are dictating that the spelling may come up incorrectly. In particular, this happens for names and suburbs, or if you had a particular way of pronouncing a word that may not be the standard pronunciation. Within the Gentu app, select the patient and then press the plus button, followed by Start Dictation. At the bottom left corner, press on the three lines, and then select Manage Vocabulary. This will display a list of any pre-existing words. Press on the plus. Within the next screen, type in the word that you want to add. Once the word is typed in, do not press on the Use Default Pronunciation button. Instead, press on the big red microphone button and say the word the natural way that you would say it. Do not over-enunciate. Now the word is saved into the voice's vocabulary with the way that you would pronounce it. Another feature that often gets overlooked on the voice app is the auto text functionality. Auto text allows you to preset text, saving you from having to dictate the same thing over and over. These can be structured with headings or a set paragraph. The auto text templates can also be created with drop points that allows for custom dictation into those areas that need a variable value or text. This first video shows an example of a structured auto text with headings, commonly used for operational reports.
Insert op report. Colposcopy, loop electrosurgical excision procedure of cervix, endocervical curettage. Next field. CIN3 on pap smear and cervical biopsies. Next field. Following intravenous sedation and paracervical block using 20 milliliters of 0.75% Narapin, I proceeded with a colposcopy, loop electrosurgical excision procedure of the cervix and endocervical curettage, full stop. Moncell solution was applied to the cervix for hemostasis, full stop. Next field. Insert patient first name. Upload letter to Gentu.
Whilst this second video shows an example of utilizing auto text paragraphs within the body of your letter.
Insert referral thank you. Insert patient name. Next field. Dysplastic mole on the right shoulder blade, full stop, new paragraph. Her solar damaged skin shows basal cell carcinoma of nodule infiltrating type, measuring up to 1.2 millimeters in thickness, extending to the deep reticulodermis, full stop, new paragraph. Insert pathology standard punch macro. 3. Next field. 3. Upload letter to Gentu.
So we'll now go through how to actually add these new auto text templates. Within the Gentu app, press on the patient, then press the plus button in the lower right. A menu will appear, select Start Dictation. Within the Start Dictation screen, press on the 3 lines in the bottom left. Within the side menu, now select Manage Auto Text. This will now display a list of any preset auto text. Press the plus button in the top right. Enter in the name of the auto text, in this example, op report. The description is not necessary, whereas the pronunciation is the dictation command, so we're going to add in insert to the front. Within the body, we'll now add in the headings, findings, techniques, post-op orders, followed by the square brackets after each one by pressing on the insert field button. You can also manually type it in if you wish. If you are adding the field into the body of a sentence or paragraph, it is suggested that you type in what you want to actually be dictating into that spot. So for example, insert patient first name. Once done, press save. Within the dictate screen, when we now say the command insert op report, the template appears where the first field is automatically selected and ready for dictation. You would dictate, and then to jump to the next field, you would normally say next field. Before we move on to talk about some of our marketplace apps, we would like to run a quick poll which will display on the screen shortly. For anyone that is currently using the Gentu mobile app, would love to hear from you. If you are not a current Gentu mobile app user, the app is free for all Gentu users and available on both Android and iOS via the Google Play or App Store. At the top right of the screen are some QR codes that you can scan to download the app now. I'll just pause for a moment before we move on. Did you know that there are other apps that can be integrated with Gentu? And this includes a variety of AI transcribing services, online bookings, digital forms, and referral management. The marketplace offers a range of transcription services that you can integrate with your Gentu system. The scribes can listen in and record the conversations you have with your patients and automatically generate notes and doctor letters. When linked via the marketplace, your Gentu appointments will be visible in your connected scribe platform or interface. Once the scribe generates your letters, these same letters can then be found in the patient's clinical file in Gentu. The ones that can be integrated with Gentu include Heidi, Meadow AI, Lyrebird Health, iScribe, and VoiceBox. Simply click on the marketplace icon along the menu and then select the service from the page to find out more. The Magentus Academy is now available to all Gentu users and offers a free online learning portal. These self-guided tours are designed to help you maximize your Gentu use and efficiency, and also help upskill your team. For practitioners, the clinical learning path covers all major clinical workflows, from consult notes to procedures, prescribing, diagnostic requests, and more. We also recently published a new admin learning path, which covers billing, an introduction to the patient record, and appointment management. If you aren't already enrolled, scan the QR code above, and your free account will be created.